Hello. Welcome back. I made a mistake. The dogs were settled. They were like chilling out beside me, and then I stroked one of them. I can't be doing that sort of nonsense. October 20th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on people to present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. Well, yeah, because his whole case went out the window. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Ms. D. Vasquez to the stand. Ms. D. Vasquez is the producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Here she is. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer. In Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all? I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you. The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with that monkey's head toppling over. Van added to the court record. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. She's saying the van was taken after 4, which is fine. And enter the trailer, a little before noon. We're going to press everything. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in at the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please, stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. He's gonna just... Yeah. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think. Come on. All you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Hold on. You had Sal take you. What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, alright. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks. Why do I keep saying T-bone? T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. We've had some evidence that proves she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find anything? Kinda wish she said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said somewhere. So I know what the issue is. Because I've played this through before. So what we need to do is present the plate, because it says on it are traces of sleeping pills and a large bone. On the trailer 2, at the trailer 2 thing, there wasn't a bone on the plate. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright. Need I remind you, it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Ms. Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Oh? Ms. Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat the steak. You ate the bone too as an option. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere. Like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting the Steel Samurai. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. I love how she stands. Although they have made her knees ridiculously close to the ground, if that's the angle that her leg is at. Order. Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Ms. Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. weapon? Mr. Wright. Isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it. Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? You couldn't, could you? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ha! You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? Oh no, that angle's alright. I think it's a bit off, but... What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. I mean, at this point, I think we need to show the samurai spear because it's broke. So it couldn't be used anyway. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through, but someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now, tell me, how is it possible? I love this gesture that he makes with the paper. They've animated it so well. For someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest. Order in court. She said order. I just added order in court because it's what you hear all the time. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? Do I still have the picture of the body slumped over the fence? I do. I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order. If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was a bit. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Misty Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago. Precisely. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true. Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? I know she can move it with the van, but the van was trapped. I'm just going to quickly save because I'm not 100% sure of what I want to say here. So I want to say she couldn't deal with it. 15 minutes is kind of a short amount of time. You see, even I cannot do the impossible. Therefore, Mr. Wright, I didn't do it. Agreed? Not agreed. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Ms. Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course he was. Of course, Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done all that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose, you win. It was fun. I win. Beebles! So what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez? So it was you. You killed Jack Hammer. Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What? Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Why are you getting shush? Why are we all kicking up a fuss today? Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. Ugh, what do I do now? Testify again? I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? Boys! You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. To come so far only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Yes, Edgeworth. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. Shush! I didn't. I see. Very well. Keep come up with it. What? What's up? Why? Why are you being such a pain in the butt? Who's a bloody butt? Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes. Indeed. Verily, I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body. Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth... Who knows? Because he loves us. He probably realized she did it too. What? What? What do you want? Chill. Chill out. Relax. Why are you being a pain in the butt? Why is it whenever I pet him, you lick me? Oh, get away. But... Wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that? Edgeworth. Oh, my goodness. I was with Sal and Oldback, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldback, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. I do like her earrings and her butterfly brooch. Just gonna press everything. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Miss Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. That's harder. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer into that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh. What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what other people are saying, boy. I know what she was doing, but boy? The witness will continue her testimony. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember? What? There was a dead body lying in front of us. Yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Press harder. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Ms. Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez, let me continue. Also, since everyone keeps saying he's so hideous, he can't be on the screen without a mask and all this sort of stuff, he does stand out. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna press this. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then, silence, dead silence. Silence. Hey Nick, why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. There was a murder? The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. Oldbag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going toward the studio. Right, the steel samurai. That's harder. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seems to have given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera, is not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. I asked to be left out of proceedings. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you, or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure hair professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Well, you couldn't find your script, you had Salmonella bring them. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. I'm gonna press harder on that. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? That's a contradiction right there. Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. Ms. Vasquez, please continue. Thank you, Edgeworth, for not being an idiot. Your Honor. I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Ms. Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to have known about the murder before going to Studio One. Order, order! Mr. Edgeworth. What you've just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. Huh. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Huh? Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Hammer wasn't injured. Powers was. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg this on her here, or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. Okay, so what we're gonna do is show her the samurai picture, because she would be the only person that knew that Hammer was injured, because Hammer was faking the injury. Other way. That one? Objection! You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. That's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was entered in the show, in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah! And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Ms. Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. They get so passionate and I love it. Order! Order! I will have order. Witness? Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why the real killer's always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Huh. Yeah, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? I think, because I can't remember, I think the person that was killed in the 5 years ago incident is someone that she cared about, because she got very pissed off and was like, how do you know it was an accident? Prove to me it was an accident. You keep saying accident, accident, accident. So I think she was upset that Hammer had killed the other person. So this was kind of a revenge, getting him back in the same way that he'd killed someone she cared about. We're gonna go with I can prove it. Okay, I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right. Aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Dee Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, Dee Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Miss D. It is almost as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Dee Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. and I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright? Please explain Mrs. Mrs. Vasquez's motive for murder. Again. Save. I don't know, because it's clear that he was coming to her to attack her. Reveal evidence. Okay. Allow me to present the court evidence proving Miss Vasquez's motive. I could use the sleeping pills.
Take that!
No, it's not your proof apparently. And this tells us why Miss Vasquez wanted to kill Mr. Hammer. I'd say all it proves is that the defense attorney has completely lost his marbles. Mr. Wright, the court requests that you find your marbles immediately, and I'm afraid I have to penalise you for this waste of the court's time. Nick, we're so close. Think this one through, please. Mr. Wright, I'll ask you again. Please explain Ms. Vasquez's motive. I don't know if I... Okay, she had no motive. She had no motive, Your Honour. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs, in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. Well, I knew that. I was trying to prove that when I presented the sleeping pills, because it's like, he set things up to go and kill her. So I guess that, yeah, makes sense. Anyway, roundabout way. What? 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 Your Honor, I love that it's the Steel Samurai music right now. Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for that purpose, and for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Oh, you pissed her off. She's not smoking anymore. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel. Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No. How could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel. Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. No. Please don't die, please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers... That is all. This court is adjourned. October 20th, 1:12 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Look at his smile! I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. By the way, the smoking jacket thing, I think that is because Vasquez smoked all the time, so it's like a part of her production company, so he gets like this jogging suit with a smoking pipe on it. Anyway. Yes, but it's sad. I know that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? I know why. Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... Path to glory.
Take that!
It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid's show. And as a villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him anytime. Will, you're such a sweetheart. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh! Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. Uh-oh. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Nick, Edgeworth. Oh, our bestie. Look at him. Intimidating figure. Say something right. I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No! I really want to thank you! Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Okay, this is where the shipping comes in, okay? Because... saddled with unnecessary feelings, eh, edgy boy? Unnecessary feelings? Yes. Unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? Did you hear the words he just fucking said to me? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Because they're gonna be lovers. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today! You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. He gets to play the Pink Princess? This is when it gets fucking interesting. We're gonna dig into some backstory. There's a funky parrot. This is a really good episode. 10 about goodbyes. Yeah. This is a good one. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna stop here and leave you with all the anticipation. And thanks for stopping by and watching and all that sort of jazz.